Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to get started by creating native modules in an Expo app. So let's get started. So firstly I'm in this particular URL of creating an Expo project. I won't use this particular command. The reason is that to create a native module you require an Android and iOS folder. So if you go to this template options over here, it gives you different template options. So from this I'll select this particular one, bare minimum. So I'll just copy this command, and here you can see this is this bare minimum, a blank template with native directories Android and iOS generated, and it runs npx expo pre-build during the time of setup itself. So I have just go to your workspace directory, and then I'll just run this particular command. Now this might take little bit of time to generate code for us. So it will ask you your app name. I'll just keep it as default. So let's see. Now this might take little bit of time. So once this is completed I will come back. Also one more thing which I want to highlight is, suppose you already have an Expo project being created without using this template syntax. So what you can do is that I'll just go back. So I have already made a so if you check the first video of my Expo playlist, in that I have shown you how to create this Android and iOS native folder if you have just used this particular command. So I will quickly tell you, I won't show it to you. So in case if you are not using the template keyword and directly running this, then in that step you will have to click on setup your environment. We are not using Expo Go, so we'll just select development build, select Android device development build, and here you will have to uncheck this toggle option. Now depending on what OS you are on, select that one. You will have to install all this stuff. So I already have this installed. I already have my Android Studio installed. So go through all this. Important thing is you will have to run this particular command. So you will have to cd to your project first and then run this command, and then yeah, you will have to run this particular command as well to run your Android app. Now once you run this command, then only your Android folder will create it. Just running this particular command won't create your Android folder. Similarly for iOS as well. So if I quickly select iOS, and here you will have to do all this setup. I already have it. We have already ran this command for Android setup. In case if you want, you can run it again, and once you run this particular command, then only the iOS folder will be created for you. Okay, so as you can see my project was created. Then I will just quickly cd to my project. Then we have to go to this particular docs which tell us how to add native modules to your existing Expo applications. So if I open my project, here you can see Android and iOS folder were automatically created for me. Now I will go to this particular documentation, and here it clearly says how to add module to an existing application. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this command again, and I will just paste it over here. Now again this might take little bit of time, and also it might ask you some questions about your app. So in case if you want, you can answer them. So let's see. So here it is asking what is should be the module name. So I'll just keep it as it is. By default I won't add anything. Okay, let it do its own thing, and then it will generate the module for us. So it has quickly generated the module for us. Now for iOS we have to perform this extra step as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here, and hopefully you should be able to see this module being generated. Now this might take a little bit of time, so let it do its own thing, but in the meantime I will show you what exactly it does. So if you see over here, it creates a folder called modules, and inside that there are separate Android and iOS folder. So whatever implementation you want to write, you can write in those Android and iOS folder. By default it does provide you with some default implementation like, so if you see inside the src, it has this all this my module file, my module web view. We are not using this view or web files. We are just concentrating on this my module.ts and this particular file. Okay, so you can ignore all these files for now. Then if you go to the Android folder inside src java, ignore this my module view, concentrate on this my module.kit. Here you can see that they have written a bunch of kotlin code, and this is how this is like boilerplate code which they have created. Like ignore this code for now. In some other video I will come back to the actual implementation of it, because even I am new to this. Basically I am using React Native CLI, but given that the React Native team has suggested to use Expo, even I am learning Expo now. And for iOS you have to see this my module.swift file. So again, ignore this. We'll come back to this later. Now how to use this particular module? So all you have to do is, here you can see there is the hello function created inside your Swift file. So here you can see there is this hello function being created. Also inside your Android file, here you can see hello function is been created. So this is the hello function. Like, this does not really look like a Kotlin syntax or a Swift syntax, but yeah, this is how it is. Then how to call that hello function? So for that you can just copy paste this code. So whatever is the entry point of your app, or wherever you want to use it. So this might differ depending on what template of your Expo project you are using. So for the bare minimum, this it looks something like this. So I can just paste this. Now I want to display this, right? So what I'll do is I'll just add one more text, and here you can see it has given me the intelligence hello. So this is how I can call. Now just to be extra sure it really calls our hello function, what I will do is that inside my module.kt, here it has said hello world. I will write hello world from Expo. Okay, just so that you believe me that it is working. Same for my module.swift, I will write hello world from Expo. Now to run this, all you have to do is, to run on Android you have to run this, you have to fire this particular command, and for iOS you have to fire this particular command. Now make sure you have this simulator or emulator, whatever, installed. I really don't like the Android emulator. That's why if you see, I have connected my real Android device via Wi-Fi debugging. In case if you don't know how to do that, you can ignore it. I don't want to make it too much complicated for you. Just make sure you have the Android emulator installed via Android Studio. Once you have that, you just have to run this particular command. Now this might take little bit of time due to this Gradle building and all that stuff. Once this is done, I'll come back. Okay guys, so once your build is successful, you should see something like this. Like it you might see your emulator or your real device, but it won't show your app been installed. So for that, what you can do is, here it says that to open Android you have to press A. So I'll just press A. Okay, nothing seems to be happening. Okay, I don't know why it is not working for me, but the other, okay, I'm trying to press A, but it is not working for me. Maybe it's because I'm trying to run it on a real Android device. Another easy way is I'll just run it from Android Studio. So this is my real device, and it should get installed on my real device. So in case if you are facing some issues, just try to run it on Android Studio directly, from Android Studio directly, but make sure you have this Metro bundler running, otherwise again you will face lot of issues. So keep this Metro bundler running, and just try to run it for Android. Like I'll quickly show it for iOS as well. I'll run this command so that I can show it for iOS. So again, just copy paste, go to your project, and then run this particular command. Now again, this might take little bit of time, so I'll come back once it is ready. Okay guys, so there is one more thing which I want to tell you about Android. So I ran it from Android Studio and I'm getting this error. Now this is because the Metro bundler is not running properly, but like I shown you, my Metro bundler was running properly. So the other issue which I found out was I had to do Control-C to completely stop the Metro bundler, and again I had to run this particular command which I shown you, npx expo run : Android. Now when I run this command, here you can see it is asking me that I have this missing dependencies, would I like to install it? So I'll just click on yes. So maybe because of this missing dependencies, it was not getting installed properly. I think this only happens when you are trying to use the bare minimum template. Maybe it won't happen if you are trying to if you try to create a normal, the default template which is there, and then try to add the Android and iOS folder, maybe or maybe not, I'm not really sure. But yeah, these are some of the frustrating parts of working with cross-platform technologies. Hopefully now this should get initialized properly. So once it is done, I'll come back again. Okay guys, so here as you can see, like I didn't had to press the A button. Like when I ran the metro bundler command, it automatically installed all the TypeScript dependencies for me, and then it has properly like bundled my app on Android Studio, like on my real Android device. So if I quickly show you the output, here you can see hello world from Expo. So the text which we were passing from our native model is being displayed properly inside our Android project. So let's see what's the case for iOS. Is it still running? So iOS is still running. This might take a little bit of time because of CocoaPods. So I'll come back once this is properly done. So here you can see something like this, like installing on iPhone 15 or whatever your simulator name is. Now depending on whether your simulator is open or not, in case here it opened my simulator automatically, but I did notice that here you can see like if your simulator is not open, it will just time out. So it's better you can just run this particular command again. You will face this kind of issues later on, but as you can see, it has able to print our message properly, like hello world from Expo. But yeah, like running it will display the same output. Also one more thing, like if you are making any changes in this Kotlin file or in the Swift file, you will have to make sure you rerun your code from the very start. Like you will have to shut down your metro bundler and run this command from the very start, because these are native code, these are not JavaScript or TypeScript code, so it won't really work for you. So that's another important thing which you should keep in mind. So yeah, that's it for this video. In case do let me know in the comments like what kind of native module should I make in future, specifically for Expo, because I have made a lot of native modules for React Native. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.